Chief Abdul-Ganiyu Gani Oyesola Fawehinmi was a Nigerian author, publisher, philanthropist, social critic, human and civil rights lawyer, and politician. He also held the chieftaincy title of the Lamofin of Ondo. Born into the family of Said and Munirat Fawehinmi of Ondo on 22nd April 1938 as the firstborn and only son out of 6 children born to his mother. In Ondo State, his father, Chief Said Tububo Fawehinmi, the Seriki Muslimu of Ondo, was a successful timber trader, philanthropist, civic activist, and Muslim chieftain of the Yoruba people. He was reported to be a follower of Ajao, who brought Islam to Ondo City, southwestern Nigeria. Gani had his early education at Asaruddin Primary School, Iyemaja, Ondo State, from 1947 to 1953, and his secondary school education at Victory College, Ikare, a Christian school from 1954 to 1958. While in college, he was popularly known as Nation because of his passionate interest in national, legal, and political affairs. He then worked briefly as a law clerk in the High Court of Lagos until 1961. Gani enrolled at the Holborn College of Law, University of London, to read law in 1961. While at the university, his father died. He completed his academic degree in London with a measure of difficulty due to lack of funds. This involved doing various menial jobs in London. He returned to Nigeria in 1964 and was called to the bar the following year. He then worked briefly at the law firm of his brother, the late Honorable Justice Rasheed Olabamidele Fawehinmi, before branching out on his own. Gani gained prominence when he took on the case of a factory worker, Bala Abashe, who alleged that the secretary to the government of Benue Plateau State, Andrew Obeya, had an affair with his wife. Abashe then sued Obeya for assault and damages for adultery. Gani took on the case as a pro bono lawyer for Abashe, while the state government stood behind their official. Efforts were made for Gani to drop the case. When that failed, Obeya was forced to resign. However, Gani was detained for 9 months. The publicity of the case improved the exposure of his law practices. From 1971 to 1973, he was the National Publicity Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association. However, in 1981, Fawehinmi was queried by the disciplinary committee and told to explain himself within 14 days why he was touting himself through advertisement in a weekly publication contrary to the ethics of the bar. In the case, Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee (LPDC) versus Chief Gani Fawehinmi in 1985. The Supreme Court upheld the appeal court judgment, rendering the LPDC proceedings against Chief Fawehinmi ineffective on the basis that the constitution of the LPDC with the Attorney General as chairman made him accuser, prosecutor, and judgment at the same time, which breached the principles of natural justice and therefore Chief Fawehinmi's right to fair hearing. The judgment led to an amendment of the Legal Practitioners Act in 1975. In 1984, when the new Buhari administration enacted the Recovery of Public Property Decree, the NBA under the presidency of Bola Ajibola directed its members not to represent any client in a military tribunal. Fawehinmi flouted the directive because he believed the accused should be made to discharge any money stolen, and as a result, his name was placed in NDA's dishonor roll. In 1986, while Chief Gani Fawehinmi was Dele Giwa's lawyer, Giwa was killed in a bomb blast under suspicious circumstances. As a result of his activities, Chief Gani Fawehinmi had been arrested, detained, and charged to court several times. His international passport was seized on many occasions and his residence and chambers were searched several times. He was beaten up time after time and was deported from one part of the country to another to prevent him from being able to effectively reach out to the masses among whom he was popular. His books were confiscated by the federal military government and his library at Surulere, a suburb of Lagos, was set ablaze. His law chamber at Anthony Village, Lagos State, were invaded by persons suspected to be agents of the government. The guards were shot, 2 of them seriously wounded. In the process of his crusades for the rule of law, the hopes and the aspirations of the poor and the oppressed, He fought many battles against military dictatorship, as a result of which he had been arrested several times by military government and the numerous security agents. He was dumped in many police cells and detained in several prisons between 1969 and 1996. Gani Fawehinmi Library is recorded to be the largest library in Nigeria. It has over 1 million collection of books and non-books materials on various subjects ranging from law, politics, biographies, religion and social sciences, and almanacs and encyclopedias. It also has an archived collection of newspapers and magazines from the early 1970s to date, and these are some of the newspapers that cannot be found in any other library in Nigeria. The library has over 400 bibliographic materials on the founder and also contains gallery of Chief Fawehinmi. Through Gani's brilliance and his legendary penchant for hard work and doggedness, Gani Fawehinmi Chambers grew to become one of the biggest in Nigeria, and indeed in the British Commonwealth. Prior to its winding up upon his demise in 2009, the Chambers handled more than 6,000 cases, and between 1965 and 2009, he trained over 500 lawyers from all parts of Nigeria and abroad. In 2008, Fawehinmi rejected one of the highest national honors that can be bestowed on a citizen by the Nigerian government, Order of the Federal Republic, OFR, in protest of the many years of misrule since Nigeria's independence. Fawehinmi died in the early hours of September 5, 2009, after a prolonged battle with lung cancer. He was 71 years old. He was buried on 15 September 2009 in his hometown of Ondo City, Nigeria. Fawehinmi died a disappointed man because of the state of his country at the time of his death.